Hi, so I'm super excited you're here, and I'm super excited about what we're going to do this week. It's one of my favorite subjects. But before we jump in, I just want to give you like a virtual high five because last week was kind of like a fire hose, right? New places, new things, new ideas, new stuff to do. Like it was a lot. I definitely am not a teacher that lets you out early on the first night of class or the first week of class. Sorry, we just have a lot to do. So I like to jump in. And last week was all about getting to use the tools that will help you throughout the semester. And I think for most people, you've got a pretty good grounding on that. But if you're still working on stuff, that's okay. I want you to get it done, especially on this first week stuff. I just want you to get it done. Send me a message if you're having a hard time with something, ask questions. Let's figure out how to help you get it done. So we do need to jump into week 2. And we're starting with the textbook. If you don't have the book yet, there's space on Moodle. Remember, Moodle's the hub. That's where all the resources are, where all the assignments are. That's where you'll find all the details about things. And yeah, look for the computer concepts folder. And actually, there's a link to chapter 5 to a PDF, the one that we're doing this week, on the week 2 folder. So you'll be able to get to it in either place. So let me do a screen share. I'm not going to go over a lot of detail on a lot of things. I'm going to try not to because there's other videos that do that. And so there's no point in me telling you what we're going to already do. So I've got a couple of things loaded here. We're gonna look at some stuff in Moodle, and then we'll jump over to Discord, and then let me talk to you about Zoom for just a minute, and then we'll get rolling. So actually, I want to start over here first. And so in Moodle, I want you to take this challenge. I put up here, Discord challenge. This is the week to really learn, how do I manage this space? Like there are things you can do to make it not so crazy. And so if you come down to the help desk, I've actually added, and I should put Discord up towards the top, but it's not, you have to scroll down. I've actually added something new, how to search for something in Discord. Like how do you find a post? How do you find a person? How do you find something specific in a specific channel? This article will tell you how to do that because it actually is really easy. I do it all the time. If I'm trying to find, let's say you put an assignment up and I can't find it, I'll search for your name in the channel it's supposed to be in, and I'll search for the keyword tag, which is why tags are super important. On the assignments, I always tell you to put a tag if it's going to go in Discord. So I can look up intro video or look up explore help desk or whatever it is. So please follow that and help me find your assignments when they go to Discord. But anyhow, searching is really good. But if I were you, I would this how to Discord's a little redundant probably now that you're in, but these other ones, how to turn on and off the notifications, like get notifications of the announcements and maybe of your team channel, but of other stuff, that's a lot. You're not going to want all of that. And then how to create a thread in Discord, super important for keeping things uncluttered. If you reply to somebody in a thread, then all of the responses to that message are in one place, and it's really easy to use. This one is probably the most useful, how to reduce visual clutter. So much on the screen. Like I turn off all the stuff sometimes and just work in the channel that I'm working in. So this will give you some tips on how to do that. And then again, this is an article, it's not a video, but it's got some really good suggestions of how to use Discord search. So become a Discord wizard this week and see how many of those things, probably all 5 of those might take you 30 minutes, maybe 40. I don't think it'll take very long to go through all of those, but I can guarantee you it will save you time throughout the semester. So when you log into Moodle, you'll see a week 2 tile or folder open now. And when you jump in there, the video you're watching now is right here. But there are a couple of things. So this week and future weeks are broken into these 3 categories: think, learn, and do. And the think stuff is exactly that. Those resources are designed to prime the pump, to get you thinking about this topic that we're talking about. And we're talking about social media this week. So PK Original is a video I actually made, and it gives some interesting examples and different things. So I highly suggest that you watch those first. Okay, the Unlock Success video actually suggested that. If you need to, go back and watch that video. It'll give you an idea of how to approach all the things in the week. The attention economy, whoops, I need to delete that one. The attention economy video is really interesting because most people don't even think about all the pings and dings and notifications and what that does to your train of thought and what is the attention economy anyhow. Then we're going to jump down here in the Learn section, how social media can make history. And that's an old video now, but it gives a really good history of how we got to where we are. And it shows some really good examples of how social media has been used politically. And so it's really interesting. I like it. How you can use social media in your career. People don't think about that. And then there's a LinkedIn tutorial from GCF Learn. And even if you already have a LinkedIn account, the LinkedIn tutorials are really useful. They're quick to go through. They've got video, they've got images. Just, scan through it really quick, see if there's anything new. But if you've never used LinkedIn, definitely go through this step by step. It won't take you very long. And then a link to the textbook PDF. Now I only have up to chapter 5. So once we get into chapter 6, you're going to have to, we need to figure out how to get you a textbook. But up until then, they're not great PDFs, but at least there's something. Down here in the do section, the project. Now remember, if you remember from stuff you might have read last week, if it's a project, it's more involved than just an assignment. An assignment is something you probably sit down and just knock it out, 30 minutes, maybe an hour. A project's going to take a little work, and this one in particular is going to take you some planning. And so by Sunday, you're going to have a LinkedIn profile. And when you go to that assignment, there is a video that talks about it. So I'm not going to go into detail. And project specifications is a Google document that shows you all the details. Okay, so make sure you read through that. That'll give you an idea of what to do and how to do it, and some really good resources to go with that. And then, come down one more. We're going to have our week 3 Zoom discussion signups, which I'll talk about in just a minute. There's the chapter 5 quiz. And if you remember from last week, you might have seen this. All the quizzes are open, all 11 chapters. They're all open. Every week when we have a chapter of the book, which isn't every week, but most weeks, I'll put the quiz up. That doesn't mean you have to take it right then, but I do recommend that you do take it right then. It's not very many questions. It's all out of the chapter. But if you decide to wait, and they're all in the computer concepts folder, so you can get all the chapters I have available plus all 11 quizzes in that computer concepts folder. Once you open it though, you only get 2 days to take it. You get 2 chances in 2 days, but once the 2 days is up, don't open it until you're ready to go. And it's open book. How would I know if it was an open book anyhow? So at least read through the chapter so you have an idea of where things are. And then finally, at the end of the week, there's a short survey. There's nothing to submit here. It's a Google form. And I'm going to set this so that you can't really do this until Thursday. Wait until at least Thursday, towards the end of the week. But this is going to be a way for you to touch base with me. And it's just really simple. So there's reflection 1 and reflection 2. I'm a big believer in reflective learning, but you get to pick the question. Now, give me more than 1 word answer. This is an easy 20 points if you give me all the details, help me understand why you're thinking what you're thinking, help me understand what you learned, why you learned it, why you found it interesting. And I'm not talking 5-paragraph essay, but you should probably give me at least a really good paragraph on each of those. And then there's a couple of things, finish the sentence. One thing I learned was, one question I still have is, I will feel successful in the class if I can, and don't tell me get an A, get a B. What would make you feel successful in the class? And just a couple other questions. So think ahead, but don't finish that. Don't do that until Thursday. I would appreciate that. And that's all there is in week 2. I know all there is, right? It sounds like a lot. It is a lot, but it's interesting stuff. So over in Discord, one of the things you're going to be asked to do on the LinkedIn project is to share your link. And there's a link to show you how to get the link. or I think it's in the video, but I think there's a link to show you how to get the link. Anyhow, the point is I've got you broken into teams, and I'm going to put a message there later today that says week 2 LinkedIn URL or something to that effect. Your job at whatever point in the week you do it is to reply to my thread on that message. Don't create a new message. If you create a new message, I'm going to delete it. I'm experimenting with this to see if this is a way to make it a little bit easier instead of having, 20 different messages on there. So we'll try. We'll get Discord to work, but you won't see all 5 of these teams. Whoops, 1, 2, 3, 4. Who am I missing? I need to add a role. Let me do that on the fly. You can't see this. There she is, because you're not an admin, but I can see it. So you're only going to see your team, but you might wonder, you might be curious, like, who are these other people? Like, take a minute and find out who your person is and what does she have to do with technology? Like, why would I pick her? And if you get bored, see if you can find out who the other people are. I've had 2 people already send me a message on their notes channel telling me who all these people are. So, just out of curiosity, there's Ada Lovelace, Annie Easley, Cynthia Solomon, Ellen Ochoa, and Mary Keller. And they're all really interesting, and they all have a big impact on technology. And yeah, that's where most of your discussions will go. Okay. I will post a weekly announcement to the announcements channel. You can only reply, so you don't have permission to send messages. You can only reply to a thread. You can create a thread if you have a question about what I post. So I'll post one for this week. And then finally, let's get to the Zoom thing. So it's not up here yet, but there will be once I get the time set, which is what I'm going to work on and get that done by Wednesday. Once I get the times figured out for Zoom sessions, I'll post them to this channel. And all you have to do is leave a reaction. You just check the box and say, that's the session I want to go to. And that gives me an idea of who to expect. But what I'd like you to do before, and the Zoom sessions will be next week, week 3, not this week. This week you sign up for them, next week you attend them. But if you come up here, well, actually, let me show you a shortcut. Let's say you're down here. If you click the pin, you're going to see the important information pinned to the top. Like, here's how you connect. Here's some details. Here's some etiquette, Zoom etiquette. I do prefer that you keep your video on. Here's why we use Zoom. And the reason why, well, we'll talk about it in Zoom, why, but I talk about it in that pin message also, because it's a sense of presence, like, and you pay attention better, and we pay attention better, like everybody pays attention better, and it's not a lecture time. So Zoom is a place to jump in and participate, and if you're gonna just sit on the wall, like the virtual wall, you might as well not show up. But we tend to have a lot of fun. If you read the comments from all the other students, we do have a lot of fun in Zoom. So that's what we've got going on this week. Okay, social media, master Discord, sign up for Zoom once I get those sessions going, and finish up anything from last week that you might get done. Like, I'm setting the Zoom sessions from the student information form. So if you didn't give me times on that, then you can't really complain. But I'm going to try to come up with probably 3 or 4 times, and then you just sign up for the one that works best for you. And I keep sessions small. We'll probably have 10 to 15 people per session, because I've done it with 30 or 40 people and it's just no fun. You can't see anybody. Everybody's like little tiny. And so we have more fun when we can see each other. Anyhow, this is going to be a really good week. Super excited. I'm always excited. I love this class. I've been teaching this class, I don't even know, like 20 years or something. And I always love it because it always changes and it's always fun. And the people are great. So I'm super glad you're here. Stick with me, ask the questions, and let's see what we can learn this week.